In today's video, August 15th is now literally days away. It's your last chance to get notable subsidies towards your health insurance premium for those people who are not yet eligible for Medicare. We've got the possibility of dental, vision, and hearing being added to original Medicare, which would be a great help to over 63 million Medicare beneficiaries. Coming up next. So I've only been on top of the soapbox. Behind the soapbox? On top of the soapbox. I've only been on top of the soapbox for the last 3 months. August 15th is the deadline for individual health insurance for those persons who want to find out whether or not they can get substantial subsidies towards individual health insurance premiums. This is only for those persons who are not eligible for Medicare. There's not a special enrollment period for Medicare persons. That happens at the beginning of January. However, this is your last chance. I don't get any say here. I don't get to get an extra, permission slip, or I don't have any extra ability to extend the deadline beyond August 15th. Now, August 15th is in most locations. If you have a state-specific health insurance exchange, then your date may be different. You need to check. Of course, as always, the free quoting tool is in the link below this video. Be sure to check it out. Last thing is, even if you currently have health insurance and you currently get a subsidy, the subsidy may have increased, and the only way to get it is to go back into the exchange to update your application. Now, we've assisted a lot of people in this process. It's very important. There are subtleties here. Lots of other videos here on the channel tell you that. In addition to that, remember that COBRA and unemployment are two extra factors which can also push down your health insurance premiums. COBRA is paid through the end of September by your employer. We're getting word that employers still are not correctly informed about this fact. In addition to that, if you have received unemployment benefits for any reason at any point throughout this year, you may be eligible for additional subsidies to lower your health insurance premiums. It is always, always my number one rule of financial advice. Don't give away free options. Ever. Never, ever. Checking it out, finding out whether or not you are eligible for these subsidies, definitely a free option. Please take advantage. Before we get any further, the schedule is filling up as we head out into the annual election period, which begins on October 15th. So I'm very busy scheduling, booking public appearances, whether that be, to senior groups, whether that be libraries, etc. in public. Something like 20 dates. It's going to be crazy. That's my problem. For persons who are not part of these organizations or cannot get to those organizations, the reality is Medicare ABC's The Masterclass Edition is part of GH2 Unfiltered. Now, I've been broadcasting, publicizing this fact. This is a subscription site. I'm going to send you a free copy of my book, Maximize Your Medicare. Shipping paid anywhere in the lower 48 to new subscribers only. Medicare ABC's The Masterclass Edition is a 9-video series. Soup to nuts, from eligibility all the way to the mistakes that people have made. I only have about, 10,000 different examples. I don't go through all 10,000, I promise you. But the reality is some of the information in there I can't really mention in public. There are lots of reasons for that because it's too sensitive. The audience will misinterpret, misuse, and then we'll know who's to blame. Of course, it's yours truly. To get around that, in other words, to prevent this type of outcome, even though I know that there's actually non-zero risk to me from even creating even these videos. Right? I've got all these letters after my name, licenses, etc., etc. The reality is that these details that I'm giving pretty close to the line in the sense that some people may have advised me to not actually reveal them to you here on the free channels. But the reality is that, I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I am empathetic to the idea that the blurbs that you get, the hot takes that you hear, see on TV, receive in the mail, are missing some vital detail. I'm trying to give you a feel for what a subset of those different things that can be missed, that those actually do exist. And my ultimate message is that if you miss a single one, it is much worse than getting a detail wrong in your retirement portfolio. Your retirement portfolio, that one line item which is underperforming, that can be changed with $0 and 0 transactions costs. Take you 2 seconds. Doing the same for Medicare with its importance in your retirement today and for the decades in the future is entirely different. It's important to get it right. Medicare ABCs, the masterclass, sits in GH2 Unfiltered. It is the most valuable information on the most important topic. To those of you who have followed this channel, thank you very much. To newcomers, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to stay updated. Now, one of the reasons that I create this many videos and newsletter and these free resources is because I detest partisanship and the political mudslinging environment that we live in the United States. And the reason I don't like it is not because I don't agree with certain policy, stances of either side of the aisle. That is actually not it at all. That everyone has their right to their own opinion. I firmly believe that. That all said, the political mudslinging and noise and, people getting behind the pulpit and trying to attach their personal philosophy is merely noise when it comes to people's understanding about financial contracts, of which health insurance is the broader topic, and then a specific topic being Medicare. It never fails. I start talking about some particular matter, and then somebody over skeptical says, okay, well, the insurance companies are colluding, or, we shouldn't have this for profit. We shouldn't have that for profit. The reality is the world is too competitive, right? Carrier number 1 has equally smart, equally resourced carrier number 2, 3, 4 through 10. All you need to do is take a look at how many selections you have. That number is not declining, it's increasing. The number of carriers is not declining, there are new entrants. Second thing is I'm not here to settle our philosophical differences. And I promise you that the differences amongst philosophy, let's just say I totally disagreed with somebody on a particular topic. Guess what? They get the same price as another person that I totally agree with on 100% of the issues. You see what I'm saying? In other words, all these arrows and mud balls that are getting thrown about this particular political stance or this particular philosophy of government and health and government's role in our healthcare system doesn't change the price, doesn't change the options, doesn't change the way that I'm trying to present to you the common sense, logical, even-handed way of looking at issues so that you can get the best for yourself. That's it. That all said, after I got to calm down for a moment. That all said, The fact of the matter is that we are affected by policy changes. And here we are right now. So the president has enacted the American Rescue Plan Act, which has notably improved people's access to individual health insurance for those people who are not yet Medicare eligible. True. 100% true. Go look at any video over the last 3 months that's not an interview or not talking about Landon Tice and his screw up against, Bill Perkins. Anyway, besides all of that, the fact of the matter is that people's access and price to individual health insurance has declined for the people who have taken the time to look. And that has meant $10,000, $20,000 a year better off for certain persons if you are in Arizona or in Florida, for example, where the cost of health insurance is rocket ship high. Now to Medicare, because the president has not stopped addressing the access and benefit packages, and that has included Medicare. That said, you can remember a couple of months ago when the budget was first proposed, I called this kind of like a catch-all. In other words, the list of things that were proposed by the president was basically a full laundry list. It was kind of like you wrote this, letter to Santa Claus, and even if you didn't think you were going to get it, you just put in these extra items, right? And I'm never going to get this thing because I want a Rolls Royce. Okay, but it does look like some clarity is now coming to the front. The first one is it looks like the public option is gone. That I've stated a couple of months ago. The second one is that it also looks like Medicare eligibility will remain at 65 and not decline to 60. Now, to authors of books on Medicare, that's kind of a bummer because that's about 25 million people who, could have possibly bought, Maximize Your Medicare available on Amazon.com. It's not like 25 million we're going to buy because there are 63 million of you who are currently on Medicare. All 63 million have not bought it, I assure you. But you can see how powerful the stakeholders are. There's your takeaway, right? As I said, when I was reviewing the large planks of the Biden proposals, the multiple proposals, the main question was going to be, are all the stakeholders going to accept this? And that certain big, important stakeholders would not like wholesale change. 65 to 60 qualifies. 25 million people about fit in that age division, in that 5-year window. Those are also the people who end up paying most of the bills at the hospital and doctor. So, because they're covered by either individual health insurance or large group plans, employer-sponsored plans, those rates pay doctors and hospitals much more than Medicare. So, simple common sense tells you that they would rightfully, logically object. Whether or not that is the reason that it looks like lowering the Medicare eligibility age looks to fail. Again, I'm not out there trying to be a political tea leaf reader. The third and possibly very good development for Medicare beneficiaries is the possible addition of dental, vision, and hearing benefits inside original Medicare. Inside original Medicare. Now, we don't know what the exact details would look like. That, I'm going to be paying attention to headlines just like anybody else, and you'll be able to get the updates here on the Much More the Medicare channel, of course. Does the mechanism exist that you could implement this readily, quickly? The answer to that, I believe, is yes. that path is entirely possible. Why? Because you already have independent components which already exist today. To bolt them on to Medicare is a matter of money. Now, I don't mean to call that lightly, right? Because as a result of that, that is going to mean some extra benefits to someone. That is going to have to be paid by a combination of Medicare and your premiums to Medicare. What that balancing act looks like is yet to be seen. Nevertheless, the addition of those benefits will be very helpful to some. Bob Powell of TheStreet.com asked me about this the other day. Here are my comments.
There's talk about dental and hearing becoming part of Medicare, and here to talk with me about that is Jay O, author of Maximize Your Medicare. Jay, welcome.
Good morning, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you, and it will be a pleasure to have you walk us through what these plan changes are, or at least the talk about plan changes to Medicare.
There are a number of proposals to modify Medicare out there, Bob, as part of the infrastructure bill that is kind of being debated in Congress. So while I don't have any, special insight on the political outcome, one of the proposals out there is to include dental, vision, and hearing benefits inside of original Medicare, something that would be a welcome change to Medicare beneficiaries.
And obviously, there's plenty of slip between cup and lip. What's the prospect for this, and what are the logistical issues that we face to get this included?
Sure. I think that there's going to be widespread support for this. Many people will know that, for example, especially in dental, you'll hear that, oral health kind of affecting the rest of your general health, most particularly. And now the question is going to be how easily you're able to attach these benefits inside of original Medicare. Because currently, as it currently stands, dental and vision isn't included. It can be an extra benefit under Medicare Advantage plans. The carriers are offering enhanced packages or embedded dental and vision. So as a result, I do think that the skeleton, the framework does exist in order to include dental and vision inside of original Medicare. That said, I do think that hearing is a different matter. Commercially, audiologists, et cetera, are not, generally speaking, well attached to Medicare today. So as a result, you're going to have to build a new framework so that they can be included and so that benefits can be, garnered or, received by Medicare beneficiaries.
Right. So, for folks who have Medigap, this isn't really an issue, right? They have some of those issues covered.
Well, under Medigap, again, still no dental, vision, hearing formally attached. That said, what you can see is the evolution of competition in the commercial space, which is that many Medigap carriers have started to offer discounts or offer different packages for dental and hearing or dental and vision, as part of add-ons at an extra cost.
Okay. So you mentioned oral health as being key to older Americans. There's also been some ties between hearing loss and cognitive decline. It strikes me that this too is a really important benefit that could be added at some point.
These three, especially when it comes to hearing as well as dental, very, very expensive from a financial point of view. For example, hearing aids can be in the thousands of dollars, and root canals and major oral, services also in the thousands of dollars, currently unaddressed by original Medicare.
So I guess the big question is, these are expensive items to add to original Medicare. I take it that these infrastructure bills has the funding to pay for these additional services?
That's an excellent question, Bob. We'll have to. Most of the proponents for changes to Medicare, enhancements to original Medicare, come from the idea that prescription drug negotiation, direct negotiation between Medicare and the pharmaceuticals will create savings in order to pay for extra benefits such as dental, vision, and hearing. That remains to be seen. We don't have any weigh-in from the CBO, for example. We're waiting for that kind of statistic to see whether or not, they will pay for themselves.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've covered this as much as we can for now. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll check back in with you as the infrastructure bill, I guess, wends its way through Congress.
Beneficiaries will be notably anxious and hopeful that these can be added into original Medicare, for sure.
That's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you can be told when new videos are posted. Last, don't forget about GH2 Unfiltered. I'll send you a free copy of Maximize Your Medicare to first-time subscribers. That's at www.gh2unfiltered.com, where you can get my subscription site, comments that I can't release to people in public here on the YouTube channel. Thanks.